Welcome everybody. This is Invictus Racing League, brought to you by GT Omega, Nowcut Hall, and in partnership with, excuse me a second, Driver61 and gridfinder.com. We are ready for our second race of the season. We had the first race last week, of course, and we're heading out to Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia for the second race of our season tonight. Joining me, as last week, I'm Webbo, by the way, making a mess of this one. Joining me this week, as with last week, is my good friend, server administrator, PR manager, experienced F1 racer, Lightning. Hey, Lightning. Great to have you back in the comms booth again. What are you learning about the game? Because we join you, for those of us not joining live on stream, this is the day of the new handling model, of the completely blitzed time trial times, and the new release of Portimao circuit. So, Lightning, what are you finding so far? Absolutely, yeah. This is definitely one of my least favourite tracks on the calendar. I've got a report that you can't be heard, Lightning. I don't know if your settings are off or it's just that mystery microphone issue that struck us last time. I'm just checking to see. But yeah, it's not a track I've ever enjoyed particularly, Australia, especially that middle sector, turn 9, 10. But yeah, you say that and oversteer has got worse. I had heard that perhaps the curbs were a little bit easier, but yeah, potentially if the understeer has been reduced, then that makes life harder, and it's a hard reset if for our drivers tonight. So apparently we can't hear your audio at all. So just double check that setting for
Apologies
me.
everyone.
Okay.
I've done a classic me.
You do keep switching that microphone onto mute, don't you? Anyway, Lightning,
Yeah.
tell us about your experience
Sorry.
driving around the game for the first time after the new update. Tell us all over again.
Yeah. I'm sorry everyone. I have noticed that the cars have reduced the speed significantly, probably about 8/10 of a second. Increase of oversteer, which people wanted less understeer because it was pretty terrible. But to get used to the slidey rear end is going to be quite difficult because people have only had 8 hours to do it since the patch.
Just press triangle for us, Lightning, as well. Just press triangle so you can spectate. But yes, absolutely, I completely agree. I haven't myself been able to get on the game this afternoon and early evening, so it's going to be a mystery to me. But as I was saying, I never particularly like Australia as a track to drive around. Just a note for our a note for our previous round of the championship, and therefore, of course, the standings. It was Daniele Musso that won the race out last time in Brazil, followed home by Nathan, and they made it a close run thing for third place, with Max in third, Livingwall in fourth, and Foxy Red came home in the Mercedes in fifth place. So obviously that will be your championship standings as well. But some drivers who DNF'd last week, looking obviously for a strong result, and everybody looking to try and make another good start for what is traditionally, Lightning, one of the first races of the championship anyway.
Yeah, when I first got the game, I was looking for Australia and I realised, oh wait, it's the 19th round. I was very confused.
Yes, I did get I checked that my game had updated by having a look at the track listing. They put Portimao as second on the list, so that one
Yeah.
it threw me as well. uh, but yeah, it's always got that start of term kind of feel, Australia. But I'd love to get out there one day. I did come close to getting out there at the right time of year, and I was planning a whole road trip down the Gold Coast in between Sydney and Melbourne, and then of course the global pandemic hit just as I was about to book my flight. So bit of a shame that one. It's still on the bucket list to get out there at some stage. But
Um,
any expectations tonight? Will people's pace translate, or will it be a completely different experience for the drivers? Very different
um,
tracks, aren't they?
it is a very different circuit, but I have been taking a look at the time trial leaderboards. Um, if it's a wet weather race, we have the number one um, wet weather driver on time trial leaderboards for Foxy, who got the world record, which is pretty impressive. Um, but if it stays dry, I think Ferocious Dan is struggling a little bit. But Stinson is number 4 in the world, only 4 tenths off the world record. So qualifying, I'm expecting good things from him. Likewise with A. Quinlan, who is 8th in the world, only 2 tenths off Stinson.
Ah, brilliant! So fantastic research. Thanks for that, Lightning. That's awesome stuff. So yeah, we'll look out for those drivers. At the moment, I'm seeing a Red Bull heading out there of Rimac. Rimac, I think, will be the first one on track. So we'll watch him exit the pits. We've got a nice dry-looking qualifying session so far. Our drivers haven't informed us that there's any issue with. Sorry, I've just got a camera problem on my. I can't deselect the camera. All I can get is driver eye view. I hope that fixes for the next time. Let me see. I can do it. There we go. With the hard button. Now it's working now. Fantastic. So we're looking at Stinson potentially. A. Quinlan. You said that Ferocious Dan not so good in the dry, and neither is Speed Queen.
Yep, that is correct. They haven't fared too well on the time trial leaderboards. But they haven't had much time to
No.
get to grips, literally, with the new handling. So hopefully they've been practicing in short qualifying and hiding the pace.
Were you expecting the game to get harder on oversteer? Or because my expectation, honestly, was that they would make the handling model a little bit easier on corner exit, but it seems like they've gone the opposite way.
Well, at the start, I was quite shocked at how understeer it was, but it's been months and I've gotten used to it, and now it's completely thrown me into a wall, usually.
Yeah. Well, let us know on the chat. Welcome if you're watching, and let us know what your initial impressions are. Do you track with what Lightning's saying? As we head into our first fast lap, Lightning, on board Rimac.
I'm on board with him now. Heading into the third turn, brake at the black box. Nice rotation. Slowly feed the car through, and end validation. That's a shame.
Well, we'll have a look at Nathan. I think Nathan's just a bit further back. He's also invalidated on his first lap. What about Reshka? Reshka hasn't invalidated because hasn't started yet. There we go. Let's see if we can catch it. When you say black box, do you mean the lighting indicator above the braking boards?
I mean the place where the flags are shown.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the perfect braking point, at least for me. The turn 6, I believe, is very difficult if you don't have a racing line. It's wing it, basically.
Yeah, finding that braking point is really difficult as you're coming round the corner, and you've got the sun in your eyes as well.
Yeah, and this fast chicane coming up on board with Reshka is one of the most difficult on the whole calendar, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he's taken it very, very well.
That was nice. Just a small lift on the way on the way in the middle of turn, I think turn 12, just to rebalance the car there. So it's obviously somebody who's been practicing a little bit, familiar with the car, and is pretty confident in their setup as they come to the end of the lap.
Indeed they are. I wonder what time they'll get.
Well, let's see. It'll be the first competitive time, won't it? And 22.2 Lightning. So a nice early banker, and A Quinlan immediately a 21.7. So that's pretty handy. We've got I think Martin about to cross the line, but he's invalidated, or has invalidated his outlap potentially. So let's see who else we can see on the track. We'll go for Burmeister has got a 22.3. Matty in the Williams crosses the line at 24.2, so significantly worse and further back. And let's see if Foxy Red has got anywhere. Has he got anything better than his dry time on time trial? 24.4, perhaps not. So needs a little bit of work on that dry setup potentially.
Yeah. Could you remind me? I think it's Nathan and Speed Queen who are running no assists. Is that correct?
That rings a bell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That does ring a bell.
I was just familiarising myself again.
Yeah, well, Stinson's out there, Lightning, so we'll join him because he's out there in the Ferrari. He's got some fast time trial times, and as I said before, looking pretty confident in the car, really throwing the car through these corners.
Purple Sector 1, it's looking good so far. This is a really difficult traction zone, and he's pretty much nailed it. Heading in to the fast chicane, throw the car in. Quite nice.
Yeah.
Better than what I could do.
Yeah.
Just before the 50-meter board, hit on the brakes, and then feed the car through here. One downshift. Difficult braking point here. Very easy to lock up. And then a nice right-hander. Difficult to get your traction down. And then heading onto the line. P1.
Well, we've got the pole position so far, 21.1. That'll do. I'm sure I'll be happy with that first attempt. Matty's in the car park at the moment, just letting everybody by. And I think Martin's not doing amazingly. Foxy Red, though, improving already by 1/4 of a second in the Mercedes here. Oh, that looks a little loose on the way through what I believe is known as Whiteford corner. I've got some corner names.
I have no idea about the corner names.
Most of them are named after drivers. So this is Marina. No, sorry, this was the Clark chicane, and then turn 9 is known as turn 9.
Lovely stuff.
Famous driver, turn 9 there. And then
how many championships?
Yeah, well, probably loads of V8 supercar championships, I imagine. This nothing corner is Hill, and then we go into Ascari double right-hander. Sorry, the first is Ascari, second is Stewart, and then it's Senna and Prost to finish the lap out. Liam has gone. Liam J has exited the session, so I wonder if he's had an accident. Oh, and Foxy Red decides to go in.
I'm not sure if Liam has had an accident, but I'll invite him just in case it was a connection issue.
Thank you. Daniele, last week's winner, is out there on the mediums for a speculative lap. You will see A Costa at the moment. Sorry, it's R Costa, isn't it? R Costa. At the moment, going in the fastest medium time on a 24.4 as Burmeister slots in a time. I think Rimac got the 3rd place next to his teammate Reshka. And Daniele Musso, wow, through that chicane, I could have sworn that would have been an invalidation there, but beautifully maximised that one in a way I've not seen many drivers cut through those apexes. Daniele Musso on it on those medium tyres, really leaning on them with a lot of confidence. Slight oversteer on the exit at the final corner and stretches out for the line. A P5 time, a 22.1 on medium tyres. I think he'd be pretty happy with that one. Well, how's Speed Queen doing? I think Speed Queen just starting her lap. No, touring, perhaps on a charge lap. Is there any mileage in doing that, Lightning, for the first lap round Albert Park?
What, to just do a banker lap?
To just do like a charging lap or a tyre warm-up seems to be going pretty slowly.
To do it on the soft tyres, I personally wouldn't, because they wear out quite significantly. But to get accustomed to the different grip levels of short qualifying, because they are quite different, it can't hurt if you trust yourself to set a good lap on fresh tyres.
Right.
But personally for me, I need the 3 fast laps, just in case I invalidate or mess up the other laps.
Yeah. Liam is quoting Charles Leclerc, so I think he did have some sort of accident. Again, Max
Oops.
aggressively through the turn 9-10 chicane. Max then in the McLaren. How much of an impact, Lightning, is the long shadows and lens flare for the drivers down there at eye level?
It does depend on your A, camera angle, and B, assist. So if you're running racing line, it's a lot less bad, and
right.
if you're in the TV pod or offset camera angle, then even better. But if you're running cockpit camera view, which I don't think anyone is, then I don't think it'll help.
Yeah, significant respect to anybody running cockpit camera. Very rare to see anyone doing that. Max got P4 there in the McLaren, so a nice early lap for him. We run with Burmeister on his next lap. Heavy braking down to, well, I was going to say second gear, but he seemed to run that in 4th. I think he's on a coast lap.
He is on a coast lap. I think he's run out of fuel.
Well, what about Bill's then in the McLaren? 1.5 tenths up so far. Gets the car in nicely.
Pretty good traction. Well, a medium tyre as well.
Lots of distracting shadows and grid markings and braking boards. That didn't look as fast as other drivers Lightning through there, to my untrained eye. What do you think?
Medium tyres are going to make you take a lot less speed through there. So, depending on whether he wants to try and get P11, that could be a strategy. He might want to box for a new set of the softs if he wants to try and get into the top 10.
Yeah, well, we have 17 of our 20 drivers taking part in qualifying. A good improvement from Bill's up to P12, which is about perfect if you want to start on mediums. But I guess if you can get a top 10 time as Stinson, were you just emoting about Stinson's pole?
Yes I was.
Wow, 20.8.
That is only 2/10 of his personal best, and A. Quinlan has lost his front right tyre and suspension.
Yes, I can see he's dropped out of the session, so no improvement from A. Quinlan, and there's a fairly big gap for the driver to get into on the front row there. Whether they can challenge Stinson's time or not is another matter, but I think Daniele Musso is just starting a lap. Yes, he is. So we'll ride with him and we'll try and catch Stinson's final lap. They've got 5 minutes left of qualifying for the drivers to maximise their lap time and grid positions. A little bit away from the apex potentially into the Sports Centre right-hander at the end of the first sector.
Going to lose quite a bit of time doing that. Hopefully he can bring it back for the rest of the lap. Nearly invalidates, but keeps it on the fine limit, which is what you want to do. Brake around 75 metres, I would say, for that corner. Very good traction through there, very good. Heading into the most difficult chicane on the track.
And he's purpled that
very
middle
nice
sector.
Entry. And very brilliant on the exit.
That
so
was
close.
very, very smart, wasn't it? Beautiful on the way through there.
This could be in contention for P1. Hopefully his first sector didn't mess him up too much. Very nice rotation through these last few corners.
Yeah, he's using the throttle to rotate the car slightly there. Shows an immense amount of skill. Stretches for the line. A 20.7 pole position for Daniele Musso. So race 1, by no means was that a fluke, as he goes out there and betters Stinson's time. So we'll keep a close eye on this, as Nathan, last week's second place driver, is out there. I think he's just warming up the tyres. I
think he improved by 5/10 there.
Fantastic.
But he stayed in the same place. I was honestly thinking that Stinson's time was set in stone.
Yeah.
The pole position. But, yeah, Musso pulled it out of the bag. That's brilliant.
We've got Acosta, Nathan's teammate in the Alpine, now on a hot lap. Touring. There's a yellow flag ahead of him. Hopefully the drivers are able to sort of switch off from yellow flag cautions and distractions in front of them, but it's difficult to ignore that instinct to lift. Whoa! Lit up the rear tyres there through the right hander, but just about kept it pointing in the right direction.
That is the best chicane I've seen so far.
That really is. Held it in 6th gear to limit the wheel spin. That looked beautiful.
I think this is his second lap on this set of tyres.
I've not seen someone go through that chicane almost at full throttle. That was quite a technique.
It was fantastic.
You know, write that down.
Yeah, I will.
So then, Acosta for the line. What does he have here? Enough to get above his teammate. So be pleased with that one, I'm sure. 2 minutes 20 remaining at the session to get round and start your final lap. Liam is not happy about the new update and the handling mechanics. It's definitely difficult for the drivers. I look at Daniele. Has he decided that he's going to do no better, potentially? I think it looks like Daniele has pitted and retired from the sessions, as has Nathan. So I think they've just gone to get a drink. And yeah, if they feel like they've got their PB, why go again, I suppose. But brilliant stuff.
I feel quite bad for Acosta because his ERS was on 15%. If he had charged it up a bit more, that would have probably been very, very close to pole.
Martin in the Ferrari makes a 1.5 second improvement and goes up to P7. That was pretty smart. And we've got Stinson out on his outlap. Let's see if we can catch up with Livingwall though. Livingwall has yet to set a time, but he's coming through the final corner. I think he's about to set one. So from the back of the grid, Livingwall, up to P5. Nice. P5 of 1:21.4. That was a nice time. Excellent stuff.
I believe he got P5 in round 1.
Yeah. Who else have we got? Bills is out there again. He's well, I was going to say he's improving, but he can't be improving just yet. He hasn't started his lap, so just one of those issues when you rejoin a driver on track. I must make sure that I catch Stinson's lap. So we'll stay with Bills as long as he's up on his time. If not, we'll go straight over to Stinson. And there we go.
And a spin.
Moment for Bills, unfortunately. So let's watch Stinson instead and see as he challenges to try and get that precious pole position. No extra points for that in IFR, but a lot of bragging rights and of course an advantage down into the first corner. Although I think you've got the left hand grid slot into the first corner, but anyway, Lightning on board with Stinson.
Very, very nice to the first chicane. Into turn 3. Very late braking, and he makes the apex very nicely. Rolling the car through. A little bit closer to the left-hander, but is very nice. Flat out. And then into turn 6, I believe. Very late braking again. And, oh no! That is such a shame, because that was a really good first sector.
It's not going to happen for Stinson. He won't start higher than second. Obviously pushing hard, and you can understand why he would be pushing hard at this stage. I think Reshka's on a lap. Just coming through the Ascari turns in the third sector of the lap. Short shift, then drops it down to second. I'm sure we'll take it easy through this corner until he can plant the throttle And to the line with lens flare all over his face. Here comes Reshka then. A near 2/10 improvement, gets ahead of his teammate at least into P8. And I think we've just got some guys at the back of the grid improving their times. I think Foxy Red just popped up into P10. Potentially one of the worst places to start the race. And I think Bills is on his way into the pits. I don't think anybody else is going to set a time, Lightning.
I'm not on board with anybody that is on a lap. Nope, I think that's it. Foxy is P10, which isn't necessarily the best, but the two Red Bulls have done 3 laps and 2 laps on their soft tyres.
Good catch. And then Acosta has also done an extra lap, as you spotted earlier. So it won't register on the game screen that those tyres are a little bit older, but we will know that they are. So we'll try and remember Acosta, Reshka, and Romac are the people not on fresh tyres.
So I'll be expecting early pit stops from both Red Bulls.
Yep.
Acosta probably wants to stick with leaders, so he's gonna try and take care of his tyres. If he has a space to pit clean air, he could get a good undercut, maybe overtake P1 and P2.
Absolutely. Well, as we said before, then Daniele gets the pole position from Stinson, a 1/10 difference. Then Acosta for Colombia, and the first of the Alpines with his teammate Nathan behind him. We've got Max, Livingwall, Aquinlan, Reshka, Rimac, Foxy Ready, your top 10. Then on free choice of tyres, Martin, Burmeister, Speed Queen, Matty, Bills, Ferocious Dan, and Liam J will start at the back, but be able to choose their tyres. What are they going to go for tonight, Lightning, when it comes to tyre decision?
It's quite a difficult one around here. If you trust your tyre saving skills, you can go for a medium soft. But if not, then a hard soft is a pretty good strategy. We didn't have a safety car last race, so I don't think they're going to risk starting on. Did we have a safety car?
I don't think we did, because we had someone under fuel, didn't we? And they ran low on fuel at the end. So hopefully no one's going to make that same mistake. And I don't know. I haven't heard any rumours about safety car frequency changing in the update, but I reckon it's about 85% of the races I've commentated on this season have had one or more safety cars in them. So, and that's on all types of track, in all conditions.
But with this circuit, you're going to expect a few spins, especially from the people starting at the back, getting caught up. It's going to be quite difficult, but I don't think anybody's going to be starting on the softs outside of the top 10. That is. No,
indeed, but potentially we might be looking at a possible 2-stop for some of those top 10 drivers. While we wait for the grid to form and the formation lap, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the forthcoming races that happen successive nights from tonight at the same time. Every time it's the same time every day in the week for Invictus Racing League, and we thank you for your engagement and for liking the video. It really makes a big difference to all of us. Feel like we're being appreciated for the work we're doing, and feel like it's worth something to everybody. So every like is absolutely important. I was aiming last week for 15 likes. I think we're going to up that a little bit and aim for 18. I think we beat it last week by some margin, so let's see what we can do for us this week, please, if at all possible. Make sure you watch it back if you enjoy it, and share it with friends on socials if you can. It looks like we're going to have a dry start to the race, at least. I haven't seen any weather forecast from the drivers, so it'll be a surprise to us unless someone wants to drop us a line very shortly.
It is looking like classic Australia, aka dry.
Yes, indeed.
But good news, Codemasters update, if we do see the safety car, it will be the Aston Martin.
Yes, of course. They actually shipped an Aston Martin over to Melbourne, didn't they? for it. So yeah, well, keep your eyes peeled for an Aston Martin. That'll be pretty cool to see. I think of all the problems with the game, that would have probably been fairly low on my list to fix, but there you go. It's not ours. It's the reason why I also probably wouldn't have made the previous weekend free to play for everybody either, but I'm sure it makes sense in marketing terms. Anyway, we're about to start the race. We've obviously started the formation lap. Liam looking to make up some places, stay off those curbs that he hit in qualifying, and Ferocious Dan in the lone Haas again. I think we keep only having one Haas around. We've got Bills at the back there in the McLaren. Matty has decided to go on hard tyres, Lightning, for the start. You said that's definitely viable in Australia, but it won't help him off the line. We've also got Speed Queen, Bills and Liam who've chosen to go on the same strategy as the top 10 with just Burmeister on mediums. Martin's also selected softs, so that's interesting.
Oh, there's a spin for Matty. Oops. That's not going to help the tyres. Well, it might help heating them up, but
yes.
not with the wear. 111 degrees on the rear tyres. Okay.
Thankfully, we won't get any issue with damage to the car on the formation lap, but otherwise it'd be peeling off into the pit lane. No, I haven't seen it, but yeah. If this obviously were a more realistic simulation, the driver would have to then head into the pits and start from the pit lane after a front wing change. It'd be interesting to watch the teammate battles of Reshka and Rymak at the start, as well as Acosta and Nathan starting together. And we've got Italian stablemates, Alfa Romeos and Ferraris first and second, and in reverse 11th and 12th as well. So it's going to be quite interesting to watch these guys. You rather have a teammate with you on the start or as far away as possible, Lightning?
Well, preferably with you, to be honest. Then you can work together with a strategy if you're in a party.
Definitely.
But I suppose if you're with your rival, then you don't have to leave extra space.
Well, this is the F1 Championship for Invictus, brought to you, sponsored by GT Omega, by Nailcut Hall, and in partnership with gridfinder.com and Driver61, who've just been added this week. We're very pleased to welcome them as partners to the grid. We've got our starting lights, and we'll be away very shortly. Daniele from Stinson. It's lights out and go, go, go. Looks like Daniele away pretty nicely from the line, looking to try and take the middle of the track. Stinson gives up any attempt at the first corner, and the Alpine teammates going side by side through the first corner, just about surviving that one, as I think Stinson is going to challenge down into turn 3. Daniele leaving racing room on the inside. He knows he's going to get the inside line on the next time. We've got a virtual safety car ready, Lightning. Did you happen to catch from the back what happened?
I think I can't. Oh wait, no. Aquilin is last. I think he may have had a spin.
We've seen several people dropping down a few places as well. So Matty struggled off the line in those hard tyres, as you would expect.
Bills has no front wing at all.
Right.
So I think they may be in contact with Bills and a Quinlan. Somehow Bills with no front wing has stayed higher up in position, and A Quinlan has spun round.
We go back to green flag racing.
Foxy Red in the gravel, and Reshka with no wing as well. Foxy Red also has no wing.
Well, so we'll see some early pit stops very soon. Stinson has allowed Daniele to get away a little bit, and Nathan has gapped his teammate. Nathan now looking at the back of the Ferrari, and these three were the superstars from last week, and certainly carrying their form on to a very different circuit here in Albert Park at the end of the first lap. Daniele kept the lead, Stinson kept second, but Nathan got ahead of his teammate and rides in third place. We've got Acosta, Livingwall, Max, Rymax, Speed Queen making up 5 places from the start. Martin up 2, and Liam up now 8 after the early pit stops for damage repair. There's Lightning detailed earlier on. Yellow flag in sector 3 as well.
No, nothing.
I've got a Quinlan going past everybody, so clearly dropped to the back but managed to avoid damage.
Bit of a mistake. Into turn 1 on the gravel. Lost the rear end of the braking.
Was that a Quinlan?
Yeah. Locked the rears.
Not a good start then for a Quinlan. drama off the line and drama in lap 2. Let's hope he can make lap 3 cleanly. So we'll go back to our battles near the front. The car's gapping out slightly, as you expect around Albert Park. It's very difficult to follow the cars through, especially the faster corners. Whoa, Stinson! Apologies for shouting, but Stinson turned the car around in the chicane, potentially cold tyres, and Stinson will take no further part in our race tonight, and that's blown the race wide open for Daniele, Nathan and Acosta. Wow.
Wow. I was expecting that. I was expecting someone to spin.
But not necessarily Stinson. Right at the early part of VSC for the second time in 2 laps, we have a VSC. And I don't think anyone was expecting that.
Quinlan is having severe braking problems, I think.
Okay. I think we're back to green flag racing, though. Absolute drama for Stinson. Slightly less devastating drama for Quinlan, but nonetheless, plenty of problems at the start here. And Stinson has officially DNF'd and is disappearing out of our race. Yeah, absolutely awful for him. One of the favourites taken out, and will that change the drivers' mindsets at this point, Lightning, at the front too? Will they be more wary, or will they be thinking will they be thinking about the championship already?
Daniele is going to have a lot less pressure, probably meaning they'll push less and make less mistakes. Also, strategy might change a little bit, whether person ahead of you goes for an undercut.
Definitely. I can see Acosta now catching his teammate. He's got DRS. So DRS is enabled slightly earlier than in real Grand Prix, where it takes 2 laps of delay after a VSC or safety car, but it's enabled the next opportunity for the drivers in the game. So 3 DRS zones for Acosta to stay with his teammate. Not necessarily a simple task getting past, though, Lightning. DRS usually just makes up for the dirty air effect around here.
And the dirty air on this new game has increased quite substantially. Acosta has set the fastest lap, but we have had lots of interference with safety cars.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Here comes Acosta. He's really tight up behind now. Got a question in the chat. When's the next race? It depends on what you're asking. If you're asking about the next F1 race of this championship, same time next week. If you're asking about F2, F3 and the realistic performance leagues, same time every night this week up to Thursday. So you'll be able to catch. If you just subscribe to the channel, you'll know when we go live, and you ding the bell, you'll get a notification each time. Yeah, we're very consistent with our race times here at Invictus. Acosta then 3/10.
Oh my goodness, huge crash!
Wow! Nathan has not only crashed, but he's taken off his teammate's front wing as well. I don't think anything Acosta could do about that, but Acosta, he is in the race, but he's losing places. We have a full safety car declared. What an incredible moment there. I don't think I've ever seen a driver wipe out his own teammate so dramatically. Like I say, I don't think Acosta could have done anything different, Lightning, as he peels into the pits now.
Shouting there, but I was completely shocked. Nathan seemed to maybe lose concentration. He just went onto the grass randomly in a straight line.
Talking about losing concentration, unfortunately Acosta caught a pit stop penalty for speeding in the pit lane on his way in.
I don't blame him.
I don't know if it was a lack of concentration. It could well just simply be a difference in downforce, and not expecting that drop off quite so much in terms of braking performance. But take a look at this. Speed Queen up to P2, and Ferocious Dan 13 places up into P3, the first safety car after those pit stops.
That is mad. Reshka has binned it, by the way, and removed their tyre completely.
Reshka out. Nathan's got round, not Lightning, to the pits. I thought that would be would be certain retirement. And there we get a look. Let's ride with Romax so we can get a look at that nice Aston Martin safety car for the first time. Lap 5 then, and yeah, we've seen 2 cars out, we've seen several crashes already, and this is the 3rd caution period in only 5 laps. I imagine we'll be riding with this a little bit of time for the marshals to get rid of the debris of the Alpines. An expensive crash there for the Alpine team.
Considering their simulation damage, I can almost guarantee that Nathan has side pod damage on the right hand side.
Okay, well, we'll try and have a look.
Which is going to severely impact him through the fast corners.
You think it'll be visual damage or just...
possibly some visual damage, but no matter what, it's going to affect him on the handling.
I'm not seeing anything at this stage, but yeah, he clearly hit the wall, because we keep seeing the left-hand side of the car. He did hit the wall on the right-hand side. Nothing visible, but he's struggling. He's struggling to get around the corner, so there's certainly something wrong with that car. Because
I saw him get T-boned by his teammate, so yeah. Side pod damage will, on simulation as well, it's not going to help.
Absolutely. Rimac then has the lead from Speed Queen and Ferocious Dan. Pit stops for Daniele, our de facto leader of the race. He's gone on to hard tyres. Hard tyres to the end, that's going to be difficult but not impossible, Lightning, from here on.
Yeah.
Matty in 6th.
A little bit of tyre conservation, but it should be alright.
We've got Matty pitted behind Daniele. Well, actually pitted way ahead of Daniele. No, in fact, correct myself, hasn't pitted at all, started on hard tyres and is in 6th place. I can't quite believe it. Livingwall, Max and Acosta all put hard tyres on. Liam pitted early after very early on damage and has gone on to medium tyres, and then we've got Nathan and Martin on hard tyres. Nathan, we think, is suffering from that crash with some damage. Foxy Red on new soft tyres, Quinlan on hards, and Bills on mediums. It's quite a mix of strategic decisions going on, but we'll see how it all shakes out with different strategies and any further caution periods. We hope there won't be any more caution periods, but I guess we were lucky to get through the first race of the season without one significantly, and we will see the safety car disappear.
There'll probably be another appearance of the Aston Martin, I'm going to guess. Especially with Nathan's damage, I'm going to predict that he'll spin at the fast left-right chicane, unfortunately.
Well, if you can watch from the back for us, that'd be cool. I see Rimax fans are already singing. We'll see if they're still singing towards the end of this race. Rimac becomes the de facto safety car, presses the accelerator on the way out of the final corner. Speed Queen goes with him and will stay fairly tight to him, navigating that first 2 corners with a lot of caution, and that's probably wise on these colder tyres. We've got some action further down. Is that Daniele getting by Ferocious Dan? You say Bills has turned round.
Yep.
Aston Martin of Livingwall getting by Matty. Matty's obviously not got his 6-lap-old hard tyres up to temperature as much as Daniele and Ferocious Dan managed to, which is a bit of a surprise, honestly, especially from Daniele. He's obviously got his tyre warm-up strategy on point. A little bit further back.
At the back of the field, Liam has been spun round by Nathan. Nothing Nathan could do. Everything was so close that there were LFR Acosta was battling with Liam, and slight contact made Liam lose his control of his car and then got hit by Nathan, causing him to spin into the wall. But he's still in the race with front wing damage.
Further
and a
up
spin
then
for A. Quinlan.
Oh dear me, not another spin for A. Quinlan.
Action everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really difficult to keep track of everything. He also beached the car, and unfortunately that looked like a reset to track. Car was beached, and he suddenly appeared back on the racetrack. So,
oh no! And into the wall. That's going to be a safety car, I reckon.
Was that a deliberate?
No, I think he's just been suffering from overheating and braking issues.
We go for
and he lost it.
Another
Oh, and
safety
there is a
car
safety
then.
car.
Yeah.
Bills is in the pit lane because his tyres probably suffered from that spin.
Now, I often see when people have put hard tyres on after a safety car and we get another safety car, I often see people coming in to get rid of those hard tyres, deciding very early they don't like them. I don't know if anybody will decide to do that from here on out, but hopefully they'll be looking to try and get those hard tyres to the end. Lap 7 on the soft tyres, is that a no-brainer for a pit stop now, Lightning, here?
Absolutely. It's a free pit stop. You will lose most of your positions because we had a safety car recently, but it's worth it. Pit for a set of the hard tyres.
They'll get to pit before they reach the safety car, the two leaders, Rimac and Speed Queen. I don't know, I would have thought anyone who's yet to pit will probably put hards on at this point, so potentially Burmeister and Ferocious Dan.
Yeah, I think that Ferocious Dan will probably... I guess I'll find out right now. He's pitting, yeah. It is a free pit stop, might as well take it.
Yeah, except Speed Queen has decided not to. Speed Queen goes through and will collect the safety car. That's an unusual decision.
Weird.
Obviously feeling
Probably
good on those
around
tyres, yeah.
50% worn at this point, I'd reckon. It's quite a high tyre wear circuit.
Careful not to hear the safety car, guys. It's a little bit hidden, waiting in the shadows with that dark green livery. I know it's got flashing lights on top, but I have seen someone hit the safety car before and DNF out. I see a Quinlan apologising for ruining anyone's race. If he did, I think he just means by the timing of the safety car. He got side pod damaged, both sides, but he said it was like trying to drive on an ice rink, and this new update is brutal. Yeah, I imagine the update feels especially bad with side pod damage on both sides.
Can't be nice.
No.
I'm surprised that Acosta hasn't pit to get rid of his penalty in the safety car.
Yeah, let's have a look at the penalty situation, because we
Rimac
saw
got one as well.
Acosta get his on the way into the pits when he was missing his front wing after hitting his teammate. So Rimac, as you say, and then Liam's got one for track extending at this point in the race. It's lap 9 then. This is IRL's F1 League, brought to you by GT Omega and by Nailcut Hall, and in partnership with gridfinder.com, and fresh new partner this week, Driver61. Driver training. I believe you can actually find a discount code for the sim racing driver training from Driver61 on our socials, so have a look for that. This safety car then neutralizing the race once again, resetting all the gaps back to virtually nil, and I do wonder if anyone will regret that choice to not pit. No one obviously diving in right now because the field's completely condensed, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Speed Queen is going to regret it, sadly. Tyres are probably around 50%. That's not going to be good.
No, she made the choice to start on those softs. She didn't have to, if I recall correctly.
No, I don't think so.
So obviously liking the strategy and doubling down on it, but we'll see how she fares through the rest of the race. But we'll keep an eye on that one. It could be that she knows something we don't about propensity of safety cars. I mean, you've got to expect drivers to proceed with a little bit more caution now.
Nah.
No? Okay.
We didn't have more caution after the first safety car, so I don't expect it to happen now.
Oh, no, I guess that's true. I'm applying too much in the way of logic. Hopefully the drivers will recognise that there's a strong chance of championship points tonight if they can get the car to the finish. So maybe looking at it that way. It's a long championship. Won't be done until the 20th of December here at IRL. Sorry. So that's something to bear in mind. But you never want to leave championship points on the table if you've got the opportunity. Safety car will come in, and now we have a tyre graphic, but not the one that counts. What I really wanted was a tyre graphic for Speed Queen, but I've only got Burminster and Daniele, who are on fairly identical situation with a 9 lap of medium and 5 lap of hards, respectively.
How many percent, roughly?
I think it was 435, something like that.
35. That makes sense.
And they were both very similar. That was the highest loaded tyre anyway, which I think was the front left for both cars. So Speed Queen will take the restart. She's just warming up the tyres, trying to catch Burmeister napping. She goes very early, just before the pit entry, and I don't think Burmeister's going to have anything to say about that one because of the enhanced grip she has. Is that Martin out already?
Ferrari. Yeah, I think he put the power down too early at the Prost corner on cold tyres, on those hard cold tyres.
Yes, and he's out, and he's left the session, and the yellow flag remains. Hopefully the marshals can deal with it before we get back round again.
Nice
lap
move
11
by Liam on Frosistan.
Nice. So up to P11 for Liam. We've got some close racing here between the Mercedes of Foxy Red, getting very, very close up behind Livingwall.
Oh, huge crash.
Oh no.
Between Rimac, Acosta, Matty. Matty and Acosta were side by side. They both span into turn 6, and Acosta got collected by Rimac, who now has damage.
Oh dear! Just as Romac's fans were getting excited about his performance so far tonight, I also saw a great move from Foxy Red, over a little bit of overspeed into the Marina turn, but he kept the place. I think he might have given up a track limits warning in so doing, but got by up to P4, and we had a great view of it. Thankfully, no drivers have triggered another safety car, but Martin definitely out, and we're down to 13 runners on lap 12.
That is, well, I did say they weren't going to take it anymore.
Yeah, you did.
I'm expecting Foxy to be catching up to Daniele, because he's on the soft tyre. They should have the edge on those hards for at least another 2 laps. But after that, Daniele's going to be pulling away.
Yeah,
he is
definitely.
right behind his teammate, who is on older mediums.
Yeah, so a time in the race at the moment from Daniele just to conserve his ERS, conserve his tyres as much as possible, and wait to be released by the 2 cars ahead of him. How difficult is it, Lightning, to tour around saving tyres and then suddenly switch on the pace as soon as you've got free air in front of you?
It's quite difficult. I think it would take a lap to get used to the limits again. Make sure you don't overcook the tyres, because they will have gained like 10-15% in the time that you were cruising. So it's going to be a difficult thing to get adjusted to straight away.
Burmeister just had a little moment on traction. I think those mediums he's struggling on them. Is that about the right kind of time, or we perhaps overused them slightly? Bearing in mind we've had 2 safety cars, shouldn't really be losing control at this point.
I think that Speed Queen should be, but
but not Burmeister on mediums. Fastest lap for Foxy Red immediately, as you say, fast at this moment, and Daniele might decide to let him go. Shapes into the mirrors, and these 3 cars getting very close. At this point, is Daniele thinking, I need my teammate to move over?
You'd be hoping that they're in a party and communicating that, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like it. Maybe they're waiting for a different place to exchange positions.
That's
or
right.
they'll just crash each other out. Let's find out.
Yes, let's hope not. We've already had teammates coming together as Foxy Red makes another dive up the inside of the Marina turn, and gets by. He's good in there. He's got some good braking performance through there, and doesn't leave an option for the driver he's challenging. It's get out or crash, but Burmeister very wide. Yeah, it looks like Burmeister has got issues with tyres. He needs to let his teammate by, and he didn't that time. He needs a bit of a debrief going on in the Alfa Romeo camp.
I don't think this is to do with tyres. It must be some damage, surely.
Yeah, certainly.
Because you wouldn't be getting that much problem because of 12-hour-old mediums.
No. Well, we'll see Foxy Red now, I'm sure, hounding Speed Queen because Foxy is has had fastest lap before he had to navigate the Alfa Romeos. Cleared them before the start-finish straight, so I'm expecting another fastest lap from Foxy. Either that or track extending penalties, which often go hand in hand. But Burmeister doing absolutely no favours to Daniele, his teammate, at the moment. Daniele, in the dirty air, just catches a 3-second time penalty, Lightning.
As you were saying, they're going to start happening soon. Oh, and we have Liam DNFing. I don't know what happened to him.
So we do. Let's try and catch him.
Safety car.
Oh,
perfect for Speed Queen. This is going to help her so much.
Absolutely, yeah.
Saved her race, honestly.
I'm just wondering where Liam is. He looks to be in the car park section at the start of sector 2, and we'll just get him as we go by. Keep your eyes peeled after the left-hander on board Nathan, and we'll see where is he stricken. Looks like he's lost it on those sausage curbs. Seem to be stopped in the middle of the track. Yeah, absolutely. So Liam, a night to forget for Liam. Problems in qualifying and then problems in the race as well. We go for that safety car and in comes Speed Queen, in comes Foxy. The Alfa Romeo staying out, Lightning. As does Livingwall, and then Max comes in. We have Matty on his way in. Ferocious Dan staying out. So does Bills. And then a long way back, and probably thankful for this safety car period, is Nathan, who's still out there in the turn 9-10 chicane. He's that far back from the race.
I think he's been suffering from damage. He may have had a spin that we didn't notice.
Yeah. I mean, we saw him have that major issue, losing it and taking the front wing off his teammate. But he'd be grateful for this opportunity to catch up with the rest of the field. Similarly for Rimac and Acosta there at the back of the grid. But Burmeister holding on, surprising me somewhat, as Nathan catches a 5-second penalty going to pit lane. So again, not a positive memory for tonight for him, is it?
No. I'm very surprised that Burmeister didn't pit. That has probably ruined his race. There's not going to be another safety car, I hope.
Well, you wonder, of course, as well, whether he's ruining his teammate's race here.
I think he is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because his teammate has to get a gap. And because Speed Queen and Foxy, they're the net race leaders. If they can get some clean air, they're probably going to pass Daniele.
Yeah.
Because fresh mediums versus 10-lap-old hards. It's going to be very difficult to trend from.
I mean, we know the kind of pace Daniele has got, having won the previous race and taking pole tonight. But he's just had that job made it all the harder. And I just felt that there was an obvious moment for his teammate to let him by after he lost traction and then lost the place to Speed Queen. So just a 3-second penalty for Daniele and a 5-second for Nathan, who may have to serve his later. Burmeister has gone up 11 places. I wonder if that's playing in the back of his mind and he's thinking, I'm on for a really good result here from a poor qualifying. Ferocious Dan up 12 at this point. Everyone's pitted at least once. And Bill's up 10 places. Speed Queen up 7. Getting a nice cheap pit stop there. But perhaps losing more track position than she would have done on the previous safety car period. Don't wish to bang on about it, but we do wonder about that decision earlier on, whether she's got sufficient speed in the car to make up for that, a la Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes strategic calls often.
Yeah, very interesting strategies by them. Not necessarily good ones.
No.
I'm expecting Nathan to pit, to get rid of his penalty. That makes perfect sense.
Yep. Yeah, so it was a 5-second stop-go almost being served by Nathan, but mediums should be comfortable to the end, especially with another lap under safety car here. Although, of course, Nathan will be touring around at reasonable speed to catch the snake again. We're getting plenty of a look at this new Aston Martin safety car. I wonder if that's deliberate by the masters of coding.
It is lovely. I prefer it to the Mercedes one.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should have them from all the manufacturers, though. Honestly,
That'd be nice.
yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Will
So
Nathan be able to get to the back of the pack? Because I don't think he's going to.
well, sometimes I've often wondered, you know, whether the gap to the leader from the rearmost driver actually influences whether the safety car comes in or not.
Usually it's just 2 laps and that's it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does. It's very confusing.
Let's test that theory.
An exact science to it.
No. Liam has got many words in the Discord about his race. Not many of them can I read out. But yeah, he's just not happy with this with the track.
Oh, Bill's is in the pits.
Interesting. Okay, so well, there was 11 on lap old hards. Probably doesn't fancy another run on them to the end. Is that an Alpine going round in the background? I think it was. I think I just saw a Costa spin, and he's significantly far back from Rimac. Lost 6 seconds down the start-finish straight. I'm pretty sure he just had an issue warming the tyres, unfortunately.
That's not what you want to do.
No, I think Martin apologising out to Reshka because Martin at the time had no wing, so didn't realise that Reshka was close behind. I'm assuming just got ran into, trying to brake for a corner earlier than perhaps Reshka was expecting, and that's absolutely treacherous, isn't it? If you're close to another car and you don't know what kind of damage they're running, they're not going to brake anywhere near where you're expecting.
No, it's always a bit nerve-wracking and usually ends badly, which is a true shame, because it's the most frustrating way to get a DNF. Well, any
Absolutely.
DNF is pretty frustrating.
So we've got several hard runners here, Lightning, looking to try and make the end of the race. Certainly Daniele and Livingwall on a single pit stop, but everybody else around them is going to be on much fresher tyres, so this one's going to be interesting to the end. I think Burmeister will potentially have the better of the top 3 grip, but Daniele and Livingwall are going to be nervous of what their teammates are doing. Burmeister just got overtaken by his teammate temporarily, just slowing the field up. I think the Alfa Romeo could do with a little bit extra teamwork, don't you?
What I'm hoping from Alfa Romeo is that the reason Burmeister's staying out on these pretty much useless tyres is to hold up the rest of the pack for Daniele to get away.
Yes.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
No, Burmeister launches it out of the final corner. Daniele not able to challenge, and we'll have a look further down the grid and see if anyone else is closing in. I think there's some action down there between Max and Matty, potentially. Not quite close enough to action a move.
Acosta has DNF'd in the pits.
Okay, so potentially a voluntary retirement, was that?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well, the best place for it, the only place for it really, as we hit lap 18 and there's a yellow flag in sector 3. I presume that was just the retirement.
Yeah, I think it was.
But the Alphas lead from the front on lap 18. Burmeister getting away.
Queen of Rojasthan.
Oh, yeah.
And a very nice move from Speed Queen.
Into the marina. That's Foxy's move so far. But Speed Queen, not shy at all to get by another driver. Ferocious Dan catches the penalty, just over-anticipating the dirty air effect, as here comes Foxy Red around the outside of the hill corner into Ascari. Foxy Red gets by. Now it's Max's turn, and several places drop there for Ferocious Dan off the start on these hard tyres with medium runners all around him. So not particularly ferocious.
Nice
no. Daniele's only, what, 7/10 back from his teammate? They haven't got DRS yet on this point.
I don't know how Meister has gone... Why is he doing this? I really don't understand it at all.
Well, he seems to have got a bit of pace here after the safety cars. First lap was much hotter than Daniele's, but now Daniele will be catching again. And I think Daniele will be happy as long as they're gapping Livingwall behind. But as soon as he starts being threatened from behind, he'll be screaming at his teammate to let him by.
I've got a problem with the telly. It's going to turn itself off. I'll be right back.
No problem. At least Lightning's TV is not streaming tonight. We've got the Alfa Romeos in the front. It's lap 19, so time for a grid order read through, I think, as brought to you by our sponsors, GT Omega, Nealcott Hall, gridfinder.com in partnership, and also another partnership. We'll just wait for this one. I think that was reasonably cooperative let through there from Burmeister. Finally lets his teammate go. And finally, our other partner is newly driver 61. And so your lap order is Daniele from his teammate Burmeister at the front of the race. Oh, Daniele wiggled his way on the exit curb of the final corner. That was Code Brown moment for Daniele. Livingwall is third from Speed Queen, close behind now on a recovery from not pitting under the second safety car. Then we've got Foxy Red in fifth, looking fast as well. Max in sixth, Ferocious Dan in seventh, lost a couple of places after that last restart on hard tyres. Matty and Bill's just exchanging places.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then Nathan and Rymac at the foot of the field currently. But let's look at Speed Queen, Foxy and Livingwall, because these guys are close together.
The highest ERS is Foxy at the moment with 70%. You have Speed Queen with 60 and Livingwall with 65. Okay,
so reasonable harvesting from these drivers so far. Obviously, Speed Queen and Foxy haven't made their typical move there into the Marina corner, but challenging now into the Ascari Stewart section. Be waiting for DRS as Foxy's looking pretty quick here behind Speed Queen. Not the first time these two drivers have found each other on track tonight.
No, it certainly isn't. And we saw from last weekend, Foxy has very good race pace and racecraft. From last to, I think it was P6 last time out.
Brilliant stuff. Well, so, I thought we were going to get a fastest lap from Daniele, but Max beat him to it. Daniele has disappeared. 2 seconds, Lightning.
That is brilliant. 16 lap old hards. That is not an easy feat. I don't know why Meister isn't pitting. Is he going to go to the end and get disqualified?
Well, maybe just trying to. It is the time for soft tyres, isn't it? Maybe he's just waiting. Reasonably comfortable on those mediums and just waiting for a potential safety car. But Livingwall and the rest of the field are just closing in now. He's pulling them back. Maybe he's doing that tactic we talked about and helping Daniele get that 3-second gap.
Could be the case. Good teamwork if it was.
Better teamwork than we've seen so far tonight anyway.
Indeed it is. Better than the Alpines. It's a brilliant train from P2 to P5, and Max is catching up quite quickly.
Foxy had a look there. I think just the distraction in Speed Queen's right-hand mirror on the way into Ascari. Oh, late lunge. Very late from Foxy. Speed Queen holding her own because she knows the next one is a right-hander. Let's try and get you a decent camera angle. Apologies for this one. But she did hold off as here comes Foxy again on the inside of turn 1. Leaves Speed Queen no option to defend that one. Just completely drove as if she didn't exist. And there you can see, you can see the impact that had on her because she lost so much ground to Max behind. And this one is going to go to the end, I think, this battle.
It's definitely going well for Daniele at the moment.
It is.
Huge battle, and he's extended the gap to 4 seconds. So could it be a second win in a row, which is pretty impressive.
It's exceedingly impressive as Foxy launches one up the inside. That one was a bit speculative.
Oh no.
It's his favourite spot on the track, and he's wiped out Speed Queen as well. Speed Queen turned round. He didn't ghost in time, and this one, it had to end in tears, really, didn't it? Amazing stuff.
That is really, really sad for Speed Queen. We still have the battle going on between Livingwall and Meister. I'm
Oh, we've got
expecting
damage.
Meister's
We've got some form of debris on the track. It was an
I am
Alpine,
looking
another
through. It's
Alpine issue.
Nathan.
Yeah, I just saw a driver drive through an end plate that had clattered a wall, and Nathan has yet another contact with the wall and more race damage for Nathan, and he's going to go into the pits. I don't know if he's had enough tonight or whether he's tenacious enough to keep going.
Well, there are 11 people, so
yeah.
he could go the fastest lap and hope that someone else DNFs 2 points. Can't hurt. Better than giving up.
Absolutely. Well, we avoid a safety car at this point. We avoided even a yellow flag, bizarrely, given that Nathan hit the wall. And then, so now Daniele sprinting away in the lead, just getting. You can see how hard he's pushing. He just got the. He got the Marina corner wrong and just saved it from the wall. Burmeister has managed to just stretch enough of a gap from Livingwall to discourage a move, because these cars have now opened up their gaps since Foxy Red and Speed Queen came together.
Oh, Burmeister with a penalty at the moment. He just got one on the exit of the chicane. Somehow Daniele got the fastest lap on 17 lap-old hards, which is very impressive for me.
Yeah, he's got some amazing speed. Just heard from Stinson. He said he was taking it easy and carefully, but he tapped a curb and was sent into space. So make of that what you will. Last week he had a controller failure, a mechanical, and he's got a brand new controller. Fastest lap from Bills early on here, just on the soft tyres. I don't know if he'll get those to the end. Hopefully he will. It's lap 24 already. I don't know where this race has disappeared on us. Daniele out there, 6.5 seconds in the lead from Livingwall, from Burmeister. Livingwall just 3/10 behind. And then we've got Max and Bills. So Livingwall, Max, Bills, those will be the ones challenging for the podium in the end if they can stay this close to Burmeister, who's got that penalty.
Absolutely. Burmeister has to pit now, surely. It would only make sense. At least then he could get the fastest lap and the point for it. He stays within the top 10, which he will. Nathan is way back.
As that train continues to form behind him, he's only going to lose more and more places after these penalties. There will come a point, perhaps if he doesn't pit this lap, there will come a point where he just thinks, well, I might as well stay on track, because I'm going to end up so far back after a pit stop that it's not rescuable. Maybe he wouldn't want to take the fastest lap off his teammate as well.
Well, the fastest lap is going to get taken by Nathan.
Moment, isn't it? Yeah.
I should guess. So if Burmeister pits, then he'll get P10 2 points with the fastest lap, which he'll most likely get.
Burmeister stays out, Lightning, this time, and Max is on the attack on the back of Livingwall. This is potentially for second place tonight. So
I'd love to know the tyre wear levels that he's got.
Yeah. Well, if we ride with a battle long enough, we do get the tyre wear graphic. Oh no, not there, Max. Max just puts one up the inside of Livingwall, who had a robust defence. Max turns round into the Sports Centre right-hander at the end of the first sector and all the way down to P9, and that's just made Burmeister's decision to stay out a little bit easier, because that's another car he won't lose a place to if he keeps the gap at the moment. So Bill's closing on Livingwall next to challenge for this podium, and there, as Lightning predicted just moments ago, Nathan gets the fastest lap, takes it off Bills, I think it was at the time. Daniele 8.3 seconds ahead in the lead at the moment.
Oh, Foxy up the inside of the fast chicane, huge crash. Up the inside of Matty, they both go onto the grass.
Yeah, Foxy's been a little bit overly aggressive tonight, and isn't really learning to take it any easier tonight. Perhaps wants to have a look at his race later on and just reconsider his risk versus reward balance.
There might be a few
Bill's out
penalties. Oh my goodness.
Into
and
the
Livingwall
wall
has had a problem.
It's all happening. Livingwall completely messed up momentum on the way down. We have another safety car period because of that issue on the start finish straight, and Bills from a potential podium. Wow. absolutely incredible. I mean, Burmeister has got 3 seconds of penalties to pay. Daniele's going to be fuming in that helmet, Lightning, because he's built up an 8.3 second lead.
Foxy Road has a puncture on the rear right.
So he does.
He's going to spin. Yep.
He's keeping it together. He's just crawling around, but that's pretty neat graphics. I quite like that.
So annoying for
I have to say,
Matty.
Quite enjoy looking at that puncture.
Oh.
And there he goes round over the sausage curbs. Yeah. But spin turn in the opposite lock on. Such are the dynamics of the car.
This is going to be nearly impossible to get back to the pits.
Definitely.
He honestly might give up.
Nathan pitted there. Well, there's a point if he can bring the car around. There is a point on the offing. I wonder if that will actually fully delaminate, or if, will it just remain wobbling around like this?
It does explode sometimes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, we'll stay with it then. Let's keep an eye on Daniele and Burmeister, because they may decide to pit, Lightning. They've got sufficient lead. Daniele could potentially pit, get a free pit stop here. He's not.
But Burmeister should be. If he doesn't, that's going to be... Okay, thank God. If he didn't do that, that'd be so weird.
I want to see if this tyre delaminates on Fox's car. Not yet. It's just kind of waving around like it's made of jelly at the moment. Struggling.
And he'll spin.
To the chicane.
And I was right.
Yep. There you go. He definitely wants to try and get this car to the finish, and well, you have to applaud him for not giving up easily. You know, we've seen drivers quit over a lot less than this, but a safety car on lap 26, triggered mostly by Foxy himself, actually. We suspect
there are going to be quite a few drivers happy that he got this puncture, because I don't think they'll be happy with his overtakes.
No, indeed. No. A bit of a dose of karma there, potentially. 3 seconds penalty for Daniele to open up inside of 2 laps on virtually baked hard tyres. I'm not quite sure how he's going to do this one. He's got a 6-second penalty for his main rival behind him, Ferocious Dan. Then Rimac on 3 seconds and Burmeister on 3 seconds in 4th place. But Burmeister has got soft tyres on and could do some favours for his teammate. Safety car will come in and we'll have a 2-lap sprint at the end. I don't know quite whether Daniele's going to do this and hold on to the win tonight. Lightning, what's your bet?
Well, first Stan, Rimac and Burmeister do have penalties, so
yeah,
if he gets a gap, and the safety car is in this lap, so Matty has to push as much as possible to catch up.
Yeah, it's a long way back, aren't they? Foxy's made it to the pits.
So I think Daniele is going to be alright. But Ferocious Dan is on 4-lap fresher tyres.
Yeah, so 22-lap-old hards, and Daniele has got the task to open up a gap. He's got a nice gap already, actually, from the Haas. He's going to get to go here. Rimac in the Red Bull is going to make a challenge here, I think, into the first corner. And then behind him, Burmeister on soft tyres.
Oh, contact.
Is he hoping to get by both of them as they have dramas? Goes around the outside of the Haas through turn 2, and again shaping. Look at the difference in grip Burmeister has got here. I wonder if Burmeister fancies the win tonight.
Can you imagine if he wins this after all of that?
But challenging Rimac now, as Daniele has put a 1.5 second gap in half a lap from Rimac, but he needs to open this gap out to defend his win. Round the outside goes the Alfa Romeo of Burmeister, takes a wide entry and gets the job done. Terrific pass into Marina. I know his tyres are completely different, but wow, that was pretty cool. Livingwall picks up a penalty. The only drivers driving clean tonight: Matty, Speed Queen, and well, I would say Foxy Red, but let's not go there. Bills isn't happy. A proper comment in the Discord. I can say that on the stream at least. But Burmeister, can he catch his teammate? I don't know.
How on earth is Daniele he's elongating the gap on
very slightly
22-lap-old hard tyres versus fresh softs?
Definitely, yeah.
How is he doing this?
He's got some talent in that car. Looks like Ferocious Dan holding off Matty for one more lap opportunity. We've started the final lap. So,
Another yellow flag.
The only person to threaten this podium is Matty, and he's too far behind, really, to get onto the podium. If he needs to close that gap up.
Nathan was just setting up a lap as if it was a qualifying lap, which is quite funny.
Right, yeah, so a wide entry to the final corner, and I'm sure he's going for that fastest lap. It looked like Matty got very close to the back of Ferocious Dan there. Thankfully, no more contact, but we have got a yellow flag.
Livingwall is out.
Final lap, we lose another car, so we're down to 9 runners now. Let's see if we can see him from Nathan's Alpine before we head back up to the front of the grid. No, I can't see. There he is, Livingwall. Turn round on the exit of Hellas corner. But finishing up this race, we've got Daniele Musso potentially here for his second win out of 2 in the F1 Championship. Daniele Musso, masterful drive on some incredibly old hard tyres. Daniele wins the Australian Grand Prix with his teammate Burmeister behind in second place, Rymac in third. No, Matty managed to make the podium, finally got that caught up, and Speed Queen getting 4th place. So we see Rymac, we see Max in 6th, Ferocious Dan in 7th, Nathan in 8th, and Foxy Red, after a puncture and all kinds of dramas, will bring the car home and be classified in 9th place. We've got Matty up 11 places, Speed Queen up 9, Burmeister up 10. What about your kind of driver of the day tonight? Because there's a lot of candidates here.
My driver of the day has to be Daniele, honestly. I don't know how he did it, to be honest.
I agree. I don't tend to like giving driver of the day to the winner, because I feel like they've got the plaudits already. But he's certainly in with a decent shout. No one will get a point for fastest lap unless Livingwall gets himself classified. That's possible at the end of the race because he retired on the final lap. I've seen that before.
He will get classified.
So he will get the fastest lap, you suspect?
As 1 lap down.
I think I'm going to give my driver of the day to Matty. Actually, I think that's where my vote will go tonight for an 11-lap climb.
I am. Oh, and the game gives it as well. So
right, there you go.
Pretty cool.
Do you agree with me in the chat? Do you agree? If so, you make a case for somebody else. But there's Daniele. Look at that. I mean, quite the performance on those old tyres. Managed to make a 1-stop work during 5 safety car periods. Daniele for Alfa Romeo and for Italy wins the race. Teammate maximum points for Alfa Romeo and the 1-2. We hope to speak to our drivers. I think Lightning's sorting that out for us.
It was also storming here, so I'm going to be quite quiet.
Okay. Well, I did have to pull my plug a moment ago because I had a plane flying overhead very low. Now, I know Daniele didn't want to talk last week. I wonder if he's learned enough English to give us a debrief. I'd love a debrief even in Italian. I wouldn't be able to interact, but that'd be pretty cool. Daniele then wins the race in P1 from first on the grid. Perfect night for him. Burmeister in second, and Matty and Speed Queen. Rymac in 5th. Max, Ferocious Dan, Nathan. We have Foxy Red and Livingwall gets classified and an extra point for the fastest lap. And then our non-finishers, Bills, Acosta, Liam Martin, Aquinlan, Reshka. And of course we lost Stinson early on despite his incredible pace. Wow, that one was breathless. Pretty amazing set of circumstances and events. Let me know your favourite moments from the race if you can. Make sure remember to like the video if you're going to disappear on us. But we hope to catch some of our drivers in an interview if you'll stay with us. And just a reminder and a thank you to our sponsors, GT Omega, to Nailcut Hall, and our partners Gridfinder.com and Driver61. We thank them very much for their support and making tonight's racing possible. Let's see who Lightning manages to get hold of. Lots of GGs coming in for Daniele. Sorry, Lightning, who did you find?
Daniele has already joined the party, but he's
sweet.
not in it. So I can't invite him again. I've invited
Burmeister?
Meister, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm getting some messages, so I'll just check on this one and see if anyone turns up. I'll keep you all abreast of any Discord chats. Um, Bill's having complaining he was took out at the start and then taken out at the end as well. So I imagine some reports to the stewards from Bill's on their way. As I say, GG's for our podium. Coming in from nearly all the drivers and also on the YouTube chat. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Burmeister, are you with us? Not yet. Okay, Burmeister's on the way. I think might trying to track down a microphone potentially. We'll try and see if Burmeister shows up. And we'd love to speak to our winner Daniele if at all possible. But I know he was shy last week. Not feeling his English was sufficient, but if we can just get him a little script to read out in English each week, that'll be pretty cool.
I've invited as many people as possible.
Okay.
Most have already joined. I don't think anybody wants to talk to us, which is sad. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
We've got Burmeister. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Burmeister. It's well into the evening here with us. I know you're representing the Netherlands on your gamer tag, but are you somewhere where it's afternoon? Are you in the US or something?
No, mate. I'm in Holland.
Oh,
I'm
good.
not so far away.
Well, congratulations. Second place. That was a strong performance from you.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I was just going for the medium soft strategy, and there were so many safety cars. And I was just sticking to my plan. I have to go for the late safety car. I have to stay on track. And yeah, it came. So I was a little bit lucky. But when it came, yeah, I was king on those new softs.
Yeah, look good. You were decisive at the end there to get yourself up into second place. You looked like a couple of moments through that race. You gave up the opportunity to let your teammate by easily. What was going on?
No, nothing. But I think, there's also a trophy for the constructors, and I thought at that moment he was quicker. So maybe I could help him to help up the people behind, and yeah, the plan worked. And at the end, I had to wait for the late safety car, and if it didn't come, I would be like P10 or P9 or something. So I was a little lucky there.
Yeah, it was good stuff. How did qualifying go from you? Did you get everything you wanted to out of the car?
Nah, in the last attempt I had like 21.6, which got me at P7 I think, but it was invalidated, so I was a little unlucky there. But otherwise I would be more up already, but I wasn't unlucky with P12 because I could do this strategy by that.
Yeah, well, I think it was a 10-place climb for you, only beaten by Matty behind you on the podium, who got an 11-place climb up the grid. He obviously followed you all the way up. But I'm keen to hear from your perspective, having done a short qualifying and a half-distance race. How are you feeling about the new handling mechanics after today's update?
Well, I did a little time trial yesterday and also figured out a setup there, which it felt really good for me, especially in the high-speed chicane.
Yeah.
I think that's the part where you need to focus on, and when I got this setup, I just adjusted a little bit on it after the update, but it felt like sticking to the track.
And any easier or harder tonight after the update?
In the beginning, when I started up my PlayStation, I would say more difficult, but now in the end of the day, I would say more easy. So I think it didn't change much.
Okay, it's good to hear your perspective on that. Good stuff. So a much better result for you this week. Is this much more like the kind of result we're likely to see for the rest of the season from you?
I hope so. I'm going for it.
Excellent. Well, look forward to seeing you racing hard, and it looks like Alfa Romeo are going to be very strong this year.
I hope so.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for stopping by. Good to talk to you, and congratulations on a 1-2 for the team.
Thank you. I'm very happy. Oh!
Brilliant, excellent. That was good stuff, Lightning. Anybody else joining while I was talking to Burmeister?
No, no one else has joined, but we had Burmeister, so who else do we need?
Absolutely, I love the complete blah answers.
Brilliant stuff.
Brilliant, absolutely excellent. He's very good value. We'll look forward to more interviews with Burmeister, or should we call him Blah Meister? Lightning, any closing thoughts or takeaways from tonight? Do you think?
Hectic, I suppose. Maximum amount of safety cars. We definitely got to see the new Aston Martin.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, I suppose. Not a good thing for the 7 people who didn't finish, but
yeah, we definitely got our money's worth out of that Aston Martin. I wouldn't mind not seeing it anymore. I have to say, next week it'd be nice to have a break from the safety car, but a very entertaining race tonight. Hopefully, we get a few more finishes starting to go through our as the season gets older. But I wonder if anyone is able to stop Daniele walking away with this one. He's already got 2 wins out of 2.
yeah, it's been pretty impressive. Stinson was originally like the highest placed bet for the championship, but with a mechanical failure on the first round and a big crash in the first lap of the second round, it's not looking very good for them.
No, absolutely. Stinson's definitely got amazing pace, but perhaps just lacking that little bit of luck in the races so far. Lightning, it's been a pleasure again. Thank you for joining us, and we'll look forward to next week from everybody. Make sure, like I say, you've subscribed to the channel, you've liked the video. I want to make sure we try and get more likes this week than last week, if at all possible. Plenty of views. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name's been Webbo. Lightning's been Lightning. You can follow us on Twitter if you want to. I'm sure you can find us via the socials. But all being said, thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you all next week. And make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. or the equivalent of your local time, 8 p.m. UK, for the next few nights for the rest of our league racing at Invictus Racing League. Thank you very much, and we will all see you next week. And Lightning and I will catch you on the next race day.